Hey everyone, welcome to the New Heritage Wool YouTube channel. My name is Audra and I am the person behind this channel and everything New Heritage Wool. So this channel is focused on showcasing tailoring projects that I'll do throughout the year, and they are long form projects. So my first project will be tailoring a 1950s style coat that is a combination between the vibe of an outdoors coat and 1950s luxury. So whether or not it'll be able to be worn regularly outside if I was like hunting or something, that is yet to be determined, since we have other gear for that these days. I'm definitely not gonna be like a Mary Crawley in a full-on skirt suit and going upland hunting anytime soon, but if that happens, I'd give it a try. So anyways, as I said, this will be a long form kind of YouTube series video type thing. So the first video here will be covering the sketch process, the planning process, on how I came about this specific design. And then the following videos will be kind of like the drafting of it and the fittings, and then another about like the whole inside construction of a garment. And I do want to highlight in the future videos kind of the comparison of at-home sewing versus tailoring, and how to kind of upgrade your at-home sewing to look more professional. And so that's kind of one of the other goals throughout these videos, is showing how to upgrade your sewing. If you're willing to take a little bit more time, then it makes a huge difference. So let's jump to the sketching process and planning process, and I'll talk you through it. Together several images that I think really speak to the idea of this coat. And so I'm gonna just sit here and pull this together and chat about, why this is useful, and kind of how to do one of these. If you've never put together a concept board, or some people call them mood boards. I think in college we called them mood boards, but once I got into the fashion industry, everyone started calling them concept boards, which makes sense. You can pull a lot of different kinds of images. Like, I love to pull images such as these, the ones that are just scenes for the outdoors, kind of where my character is living or dreams to live. Like, I dream to live in some kind of situation like this. I mean, who wouldn't? You also want to, it's always fun to pull kind of lifestyle, as far as like, see, I have here Mary Crawley from Downton Abbey. This is a really big inspiration, if I haven't mentioned it before. I really liked the scene where they're all upland hunting. They might call it something different, but I think here in the US it's called that. Their costumes that they use there are absolutely a big inspiration for this. I liked how classy everyone looked, but they're down in the dirt shooting birds and it's crappy weather. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for here. And then you also, what kind of things does this character or you yourself like to do? And me, I love a good cup of coffee. I love to read books. I'm sure you saw in my background earlier, I've got a bookshelf full of books. And then also including design details. Like, I know that this is going to be a traditionally tailored coat, so I've included some of those aspects that are included when you do a tailored coat, such as these small stitches, this style of shoulder pad, and so on and so forth. So as I go through here and pull images for it, again, you're looking for textures, you're looking for details, you're looking for aesthetic, you're looking for lifestyle, things that speak to the fit. Like, this is a really fitted coat that Mary Crawley is wearing for the activity that she's doing, but there's reasons that it's like that. And So that's all the stuff that you kind of go through. I'm going to sit here and kind of finesse this just a little bit before jumping to a kind of preview of sketching. So I'm going to go through a little bit of what I have to think about when I am drawing or when I am designing this, because there is such limited coat fabric. So give me like 2 seconds and I will have the final concept board and I'll kind of present that to you as well. Alright, so there we have it, the concept board for my 1950s styled coat, very inspired by upland hunting, outdoors, the fall time, because it is my absolute favorite season because of all the colors, the warmth, and just the cozy feel that we get in autumn. So I really wanted to bring that season into the winter with me because this will be a winter coat. It is definitely heavy enough for that. Or will be. I haven't made it yet, but so as you can see, I pulled in images that really are inspired by the colors, the feel, and the kind of aesthetic photos of the character that I'm trying to portray. For me, it is myself, so I just chose things that I love, such as the book and the coffee. And then also putting in details as far as what aspects of a like pockets or epaulettes or anything like that in my board that are still aesthetically pleasing to the overall concept, which is always your goal when you're building a concept board. I'm going to go into a preview of me sketching, and while I do that, I'm going to explain some of the obstacles I have to go through while creating a design, because it's not always straightforward. Sometimes you have limitations, so I'm going to walk through that while you guys watch me put together the sketch. I now have my concept board fully developed and know the direction that I'd like to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into Illustrator and show you exactly how I'm going to break down this design. I did decide to buy a vintage 1950s coat pattern from Weldon's Patterns. I decided to do this just to kind of get a head start and not have to draft from the very beginning. I just was feeling a little lazy and just went with buying a vintage pattern because why not? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And with that, so I also have fabric images up here. Left side I have mohair, and on the right side I have plaid fabric, and I basically need to figure out how to make it my own to utilize my fabrics as wisely as possible. I'm going to first, let me add some buttons here and get those on, and then I have decided I'm going to color in the top half and sleeves that will represent my plaid fabric, and then down the front of the skirt portion of the coat I'm also going to add plaid paneling just to not make this so, you know, half and half, to give it some intrigue in the design itself. Some of the design details that I'm going to be adding, I've mentioned them a little bit before as a preview when I was making my mood board. One is epaulettes, so I'm going to make sure to color those in gray. And then I'm also going to add in a belt that will be a handmade belt. I will not go out and buy this, and I'm hoping I can figure out how to cover a belt buckle with fabric, but we'll see how that goes. And then next I have the sleeve and then the sleeve tab. I don't know if there's like a better name for this, but it's basically like a miniature belt for your wrist. It will also be hopefully covered belt buckle, but the exact same fabric as the sleeve. Lastly, just for fun, I'm adding a tag inside my coat to make it look like it's well branded. It's just like a silly thing I love to add into my flat illustrations of my own. And there we have it. We've got the 1950s outdoorsy styled coat. Now that you guys know what the overall plan is, let's get into the fashion illustration, which is next. That is it for this video, and I hope you guys liked it. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button down below, leave a comment, questions. I love to answer questions. And then if you want to get notified for when the next video will be up, please hit the subscribe button. My plan is to, at the very least, post the long form videos once a month, because this does take some time to edit, film. Even the sewing takes time, and it is just me here at New Heritage Wool doing all of these things. So just bear with me as I learn new skills, especially the video editing process. It does take me a while, but if you like what you see, please subscribe, and I will see you soon.